Hey guys, I am sitting in the sun right now, but I did not wake up to a beautiful sunny day, and I will show you the photographs of the progression from today when I started what I call cloud busting, just because people will relate to that, but what it actually is using your creative power to set an intention. So the intention I set for today was to have the sun come out. It's really easy to do, and if everyone who had integrity were aware of their creative power, this world would be a very different place. Unfortunately, most people are on autopilot. They think the world is happening to them, and so the thinking that is in their subconscious is what's actually creating their reality. What I'd like to teach you today is how to actually use your creative power to make the sun come out. But just so you're aware, you can use your creative power to set any intention. Long-term goals or things that you can't or find difficult to believe in are almost impossible to manifest, and in that case what I would suggest working on is your ability to believe in these things happening. This is one of the reasons I started using hypnosis with my clients, is because sometimes there's really hard core set beliefs that were programmed into the subconscious when you were really little, and it's like a tape recording. And so what you need to actually do to change those is not use your conscious mind like we're doing right now, but using hypnosis to get into the subconscious mind and re-record the tape recording that's playing that message. So say what you want to manifest is money, but what you have is a belief system that money is hard to get and that you have to work hard to get money. You need to go in to that part of your brain that has that message stored and re-record a new message about money being easy to get and effortless, and money happens when you're having fun and enjoying yourself, etc., etc. Okay, so back to cloud busting. Basically, your creative power is right here in your heart chakra. I found that you can set an intention in your conscious mind for the sun to come out, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But when it almost never fails is if you use this energetic power in your creative source right here. So what I do, it's hard to explain, but by practicing, I believe that you can come to understand the suggestion. The suggestion is to pull in energy into the center from all around you, from in your body. You can imagine light streaming down in your head, but just basically you have to culminate some energy right here in your heart chakra. You can feel it. You can start to feel like a momentum is building here. You might feel chills in your body. I usually do. And then what you want to do is first visualize. So you'll see from my pictures that it was completely cloudy when I woke up today. So you don't want to visualize like the thing happening. This is a problem when people try to vision. This is why I don't like calling it cloud busting, because people try to visualize the clouds moving. What you actually want to visualize is the end result, and the end result is the sunshine, or sometimes a blue sky. And so what I like to visualize is a bright blue sky with the sun shining brightly on me. And so holding that vision now, I'm going to take this energy that I've culminated right here and kind of like push it outward, like towards that vision that I have. And so I'm actually visualizing, I'm holding the vision in my mind, but I'm also kind of right where I want that vision to occur is right where I am. So I sit near where the sun is behind the clouds, and I visualize a bright blue sky, and then I'm taking this energy and I'm literally like shooting it towards that sky where I want it to become blue. There's a physical sensation that happens. Because your heart is right here in your heart chakra, you can feel your heart kind of like vibrating, sort of like clenching up. You'll know it when you feel it, even though it's really hard to describe. So you can feel your heart, a sensation in your heart as you're shooting this energy outward, and you should feel like a vibration go through your body, kind of like a chill, but you're not cold, but just like a vibration, like a shimmery shivering. And you have to keep doing it until the sun comes out, and you have to not lose faith that you can make the sun come out. You have to believe that the sun is coming out and you have this ability to create this blue sky. Once you have the faith and you incorporate these actions of the visualization, shooting the heart chakra energy towards your visualization, you really can't fail if you don't stop trying. A lot of times I'll notice the collective conscience is very strongly in favor of rain. And when I say the collective conscience, I don't just mean people. I don't know how I'm holding my camera, my arm's getting tired, but also the plants and the animals. Sometimes there's just like a desperate need for rain, and then I'll find that I could probably still make the sun come out if I kept trying, but when I feel like my efforts are not working, then a lot of times I'll just say to myself, okay, the collective conscience is so strongly in favor of rain that rain must be needed. But I think that you can overpower that if you really want to. But in most cases, if it's really, really strong and I'm not having results, and I have a train right by me coming by, but I'm going to tie this up here really quick, then I'll just let it rain, you know? But in most cases, a cloudy sky is just the collective consensus that, you know, everything that we think and feel is affecting our reality. So a cloudy sky can just be a lot of people having a bad day, and once one person is having a bad day, it spreads like wildfire. You can be the change that changes the energy of the whole collective conscience. You, one person, has the power to overcome millions of people who are operating at a low level vibration. You can understand this more clearly by reading David Hawkins' work, where he teaches about kinesiology and the levels that we can vibrate at, starting below truth and going up to ascended consciousness. But, you know, the thing I'm trying to say is most people aren't aware of their creative power, and so they're operating at basically like a low-level vibration. Once you are aware of your creative power, it's very easy to overcome a collective that doesn't know it has a creative power. Hopefully that makes sense. I want to get back into answering people's questions, and I just want to explain one last time as clearly as possible the reason that I don't allow comments on my video. A lot of people project their reasons onto me. They think that I am not open-minded, or that I can't handle the truth, or that I'm afraid to defend my point, or whatever. I don't have fear-based thinking. the actual truth is, because so much of the collective conscience, and especially those that get on the internet, are vibrating at a low level, it's just, you can't go on a YouTube video and not see an argument get started between people. It's all ego thinking, myself included. So when I get a negative comment that's argumentative, I will often become engaged in arguing my point of view, and it's just, after time I've realized it's totally unnecessary. I don't have any intention to create a forum that's argumentative. I'm just putting out my observations about the reality that I find myself in, and I'm fully aware. My other camera battery died, so finishing my thought thread, which was much earlier today, I know that everyone has a personal truth from their own perspective in their own life, and I just have zero interest in getting involved in discourse or providing a forum for other people to get involved in arguments, where in the vast majority of cases, a lot of times we're all just saying the same thing in a different way. So it's just pointless to me to have a comment section when so much of it is negative. I want to promote positivity, and I want to just share my life experiences that hopefully can help other people. The thing is, we're all going to be evolving and growing in different directions based on our life purpose, and everything I say may not apply to you. It applies to what I've learned in my life and in the direction that I'm going. So if it can be of use to you, that's fantastic. If not, just leave it. Not everything that I've learned is going to apply in a helpful way to anybody else. But I just feel strongly to share what I know. So that being said, feel free to write to me about anything, and especially about your questions in any of the topics I've visited in the past, because I took down a lot of those videos because I was continually being provoked by certain negative threads of thought. That it's just, the thing is, people project all this stuff onto me. That's not what I'm about, and for a long time I kept getting caught up in it, and I just don't want to. So I took down all those old videos, and there was a lot of good stuff in there, and I'd like to revisit all those topics, and eventually I will, at my own motivation. But what will inspire me to get to them sooner is if you have specific topics that you want me to talk about. If you haven't been paying attention to my most recent videos, my life partner and co-creative partner and soulmate actually passed away in July, and so we had a lot of cool projects going, and I'm not saying that they're not going to get finished, but like the music, for example, he was the big force behind it, and he was the amazing bass player and producer, and so the album that I was working on is on hold, and everything that we did up to that point is totally lost, and I'll have to start again sometime in the future. But the recipes and all the pictures that he was taking, I have those still, and eventually they will find their way into a book that I'm writing about a food evolution and how to cleanse and detox and go from one level to the next in a comfortable way, because too many people are promoting just this overnight transition into something that's really hard to do, and that's not how I did it, and that's not even how those people that are promoting it did that. Like, the staunch fruitarians generally did not go from eating a standard American diet to just eating fruit. You've got to do transition for comfort. So that's the book that I'm working on, The Comfortable Transformation. And also, the event of waking up next to your partner and they're not in their body anymore just was a profound lesson. And like, there's no way to talk about everything that I learned in that period of time, but it did put into perspective how precious life is. And every day that I wake up now, I ask myself, what's important? What do I want to accomplish? What is a goal that's like, what means something? What is of value? Not just, what's I don't know, it's hard to put into words. We just spend so much time wasted on pointless negative thinking, and I want to focus on what I can give and what I can do. So that was a big wake-up call for me in many ways that hopefully I will be able to process and share at some point. But for now, I know that I need to finish this movie. And some very cool stuff has happened that, again, would be hard to talk about, but and hard to explain. But dragonflies were very profound after Sean passed away because of this dialogue we had going about the dragonflies that would always fly in front of my car when we were driving down the mountain from his house. And I called them suicidal dragonflies. And he thought that would be a good band name. I think it's going to be a good album name, or it is going to find its way. But anyway, just dragonflies were showing up everywhere afterwards, especially like when I was sitting in the yard and I was blaming myself for just myriad of reasons, and I was going through this blame game thing in my head, which you can't blame yourself when somebody dies, but your mind tries to do that, the ego does that. Anyway, this dragonfly landed on me right when I was on the phone with my friend explaining my mental process and how I was trying to get over the self-blame part of the thing that the ego was doing. And they just keep showing up. And a couple days ago when I was filming this scene in my movie, which now is like basically everything I need to finish the movie is done. It's just a matter of putting all the pieces together. So at the last shoot, I was hoping we would catch some dragonflies flying around in the background, and I couldn't have hoped for something better because one landed right on me, on my neckline. Actually, the videographer's son was holding the boom mic and he thought it was a necklace until it flew away. So it was a pretty cool experience with the dragonflies. And one other scene that I shot just the other day ties into this whole topic of cloud busting, for lack of better terminology, as I explained in the beginning. But I was filming this scene where I'm sitting outside and I wanted to use the creative power of cloud busting to make the sun come out right when I was filming. And so after the picture sequence that I'm going to show you today, before I was able to make the sun come out, I'll also show you that little snapshot of video from making the sun come out, which is also going to be a scene in my movie. Anyway, I think that's enough for now. Go ahead and feel free to use any of the links below in the video description, I always put my links of my websites. And if you go to either one of my websites and use the contact form, it goes directly to my personal email, so I always get those. You can also contact me on Facebook, of course, or you can write to me through YouTube, but feel free to let me know which topics you want me to revisit, because this is what I want to do, is share my thoughts with you. Alright, I'll talk to you guys later.